So you've finally done it. You reached Heart of the Mountain 10. Yeah, I actually have. Does that mean I've maxed mining? Not even close. What do you mean? I've done, like, pretty much everything. The admins knew there was a risk. No matter how unlikely it was, players might actually start to enjoy mining. To prevent this, they added the Divan's drill. It's an endgame mining tool that would finally give the players what they so desperately wanted: a justification for wasting their time in Skyblock. In a previous video, I said that the Divan's alloy was the most rare item in the entire game of Skyblock, but I got a few comments saying stuff like, oh actually it's a drop from Kudra, and oh you should build a pumpkin house on your island. And to those people, I say, here's the pumpkin house. But also, yeah, you're right. You're right. There is more rare drops, but I think that the Divan's alloy is the most annoying to get. Let me tell you why. So this thing has you do the same exact task thousands of times. Now you might be saying, oh, that's just Kudra, right? Well, at least Kudra has like a little bit of variation in every game, you know? It's not going to be the exact same thing over and over again, but with the Crystal Hollows, you're going to the same 5 structures, probably in the same exact lobby, for a couple hours. That is boring. That is the definition of boring. That's the same thing over and over again. Like, it's not fun. Well, it's sometimes fun. You got the battle fight in there, but everything else is basically the exact same. Which is why it's the most annoying one to get. Or I'm just like forgetting that Blaze Slayer is really annoying because I'm not skilled enough to do Blaze Slayer, but who knows. In order to speed up this process a little bit, I've employed a couple optimization tactics for these Nucleus runs. As you'll notice, I'm no longer wearing my Divan's armor. I'm wearing something a lot more fancy and a lot more Halloween. 3/4 Terror armor and a Skeleton Master chestplate. Now you might be wondering, why are you wearing this? This looks ugly, this looks terrible, this doesn't look like Divan armor. Why are you using combat armor in a mining setting? And it all comes down to the battle fight. You see, the battle fight, it used to be pretty easy. You go into the battle arena and you steal you steal the topaz crystal before it has time to spawn, and you don't even have to fight it more than once per lobby. It was fantastic. And then the admins were like, no, you don't get any fun. You have to do the fight every single time. And so now we have to do the fight every single time. But it takes forever, right? You gotta hit this thing 300 times, and it's hit-based health, not even just health-based health. So the amount of damage you do is completely irrelevant. It's just how many times you hit it, which of course we can exploit to make super overpowered. And that's basically the entire point of this armor set. Just like all the other Kudra sets, the Terror armor has this cool little bonus where every 0.2 seconds, arrow attacks grant 1 stack of Hydra Strike. Now you might be saying, what's Hydra Strike? Well, I don't actually know. This is a weird system in the game, but it works, okay? And at 10 stacks, you shoot +2 arrows that deal 200% arrow damage. Now you might be saying, that's great, but how do you get arrows? You're gonna run out, you know? Like, look at this quiver, it's not gonna last forever. And that's where the Skeleton Master chestplate comes in. You see that with the Skeleton Master chestplate, your bows don't consume arrows, which is fantastic. Because I am convinced that Infinite Quiver is a scam, and it still wastes a bunch of arrows, because it's only like a 33% chance to not consume arrows. With the Skeleton chestplate, it's 100% chance. I've also employed the use of the Hurricane Bow. You see, the Hurricane Bow at 250 kills unlocks the ability to shoot 5 arrows with 1 shot. But you might also notice I added Duplex, which, guess what, shoots an extra arrow. Now, if you're doing the math at home, that is 8 arrows that I'm shooting with 1 strike, which, again, doesn't even consume any arrows from my quiver. I would love to say that I'm the person that invented this, but I am not, because I am poor at PvP, and I literally just looked at somebody's profile while they were fighting Bal, and I was standing by because they did it so well. But it has saved me so much time. Another thing that I recently found out is the Wither Cloak sword. Now, I don't know if they patched this bug or not. I don't really know yet, but I guess we'll see later on in the Nucleus runs, because God knows I have so many more I need to do. Something with the Creeper Veil basically makes Bal take way more damage than he should. I don't know the science behind it, but it works. I think, so I'm going to keep on using it until they patch it. Another thing you can do to vastly speed up your time is to find great lobbies with structures like this one. You see, you enter the Sapphire Mines, you enter the Precursor Remnants, and right away you're in a Precursor City. You can fly over here, and you can give this guy the robot parts. I, of course, in my infinite knowledge, forgot to bring those, so no Nucleus runs for me in this lobby. But stuff like this structure is incredible. The Jungle Temple one is also really good. It's a little bit of a distance, but look at this. We're right in the Jungle Temple already. This is such a good lobby. I wish I brought my materials. I'd say that the Amber Crystal is probably the most annoying one to get a good spawn for because it requires two structures and you either want the king really close or you want the queen really close. Preferably the king really close, but that I've never gotten the king really close. I mean, the king structure that you need, I've gotten it being the closest one out of the two, but never like right here, which would be such a good spot. Okay, this is actually pretty close, but in my opinion, the King Yolkar is the worst NPC in all of this. You see, when you give him a goblin egg, guess what? No, you can't give him a goblin egg right away, which is the entire part of the quest. You have to listen through his like 15-second monologue, and it's like all that just to give you an egg and to fly away. This is a huge time sink. Like, why do I gotta wait for this guy? Why can't I like double click on him to skip the entire dialogue? That would be incredible. And you might be saying, okay, yeah, like time. What's that little 10 seconds in the whole grand scheme of things? Well, guess what? I've got 358 completions of the Crystal Nucleus out of the 1,000 that I need. This is a huge time sink over time. I would love to show you how fast I can do the battle fight now, but I've already got the crystal, which means the wishing compass will not point me towards battle anymore, and people don't like giving out coordinates anymore because, I don't know, they're mean or something. You see, the Divan's drill sells for about 1.6 billion coins, which is a lot. But you might be saying, okay, so if you just grind out the resources manually with Nucleus runs, surely you'll save a lot of money, right? Hopping over at everybody's favorite online graphing calculator, the y-axis is in millions of coins, and the x-axis is in Nucleus runs. Now, if you're not a math nerd, don't worry, because it'll be over pretty soon. So the cost of each Nucleus run really comes down to two specific elements. The precursor apparatus for the sapphire crystal, and the jungle key for the amethyst crystal. And this tends to total somewhere around 1.6 million. And that cost is represented in the diagonal line here. The orange line at the top there represents the Divan's drill cost, which inconveniently, but also very satisfyingly, is 1.6 billion. And that gray line on the right represents 1,000 Nucleus runs. And if you look really closely, you'll see that all three of these intersect at the same point, so it's just as cost-effective to waste your money over a long space of time as it is to just waste all that money in the same time and place. How demoralizing is that, right? But there's one very good reason why I'm actually choosing to do this all myself and not just buying it. Well, first of all, I'm poor. I used to be poor at least, now I'm slightly less poor. But it turns out that the Crystal Nucleus is actually an okay-ish way of making money. Now, it's not the best, and it's definitely not good if you want profit. But you can certainly break even most times. Thankfully, the Divan's alloy is not the only rare drop from the Crystal Nucleus, because this is the Quick Claw. It has a decently rare drop chance, and it sells for a pretty penny, or at least compared to what I usually make. Yesterday, this thing was going for like 165 million, so of course I lowballed it, and then the price immediately went down, and no one's ever gonna buy this. But I'm just gonna wait just in case. Also, it cost 3 million to set this auction, and I'm not giving that up easy. So I managed to keep my personal account up a decent amount. It sustains me in this quest. In the past 3 weeks, I've dropped about 3 quick claws. 2 of them were yesterday, so that was pretty cool. And they've practically sustained my account from going into complete bankruptcy from this. Now you might be saying, okay, is this where you like jump cut to when you like actually get the Divan's alloy? And I really wish. I've been doing Nucleus runs pretty much constantly in my free time because you know, I really want this item. Like, I want to stop. I want to stop. I want this grind to be over, but it's never over. It's never over. So unfortunately, I don't have any such clip to show you, but I thought, you know what? Instead of just crying myself to sleep or recording a Skype Battle commentary video, instead, I'm gonna teach the world how I, in my infinite knowledge, have managed to slightly optimize my chances to actually drop this item. Oh my gosh, is that the Nucleus over there?